Hey, welcome to another episode of What the Heck Are We Doing at Minnesota Implement. I'm in the middle of assembling a backhoe attachment, which we have on our flyer in the upper corner there. Be sure to check out our flyers. I've actually got flyers on the videos now as well, but check out our flyer and minnesotaimplement.com for more information. But this is a heavy-duty, fully loaded backhoe, 6-foot arm. But this has something new to it that we just added to the product line. We've been building these backhoes now for, it's got to be 20 years. And you've seen other videos, if you've looked at my videos, with the thumb in place and with the different size buckets. This particular one, the gentleman wanted 2 buckets, a 12-inch wide with ripper teeth for doing heavy work, and then an 18-inch wide with sand bucket for doing light work and for doing flat bottom trenches and that type of thing. And because a lot of our clients are getting up in age or have mobility issues, and I'm among them, that have trouble manhandling something that's 300 or 400 pounds a couple times a day, I've had some requests for a easy to disconnect bucket system on these. And so I finally had a little bit of time to go ahead and prototype a bucket disconnect system. Now I wish I had a machine on site so I could show this actually in action of how it works when you're on your machine, but I don't have a machine, so I'm going to have to do this manually, hence why the unit is only partially put together right now. I don't have all the linkages in place so that I can do this by hand so that you can see how this coupler works. Now you can see on the buckets, we've got this hardware here that has the U shape on the top and the crevice on the back and then a pinhole. And those couplers are the same between the 2 buckets. And then we've got this apparatus on the back of the backhoe here. And that allows us to lock the unit in with just one drift pin or latch pin in there. So it should make it very, very easy for somebody to disconnect these buckets by themselves. Now, one of the tricksy things in this design is if you're running a skid steer that has a cab and a door, the unit would have to be down like it's sitting now when you get out of the cab to lock your bucket. So it has to accomplish an angle and a self lock-in without the drift pin in there so that you can hook the bucket up and drop the unit to the ground and get out of the machine in order to then put your drift pin in. So figuring out the geometry on that in order to get that to work was a bit of a challenge, because when you're done hooking into the coupler, the bucket essentially needs to be almost at the angle that it is now, sitting on the ground like an upside down turtle, in order for it to stay in place while you get out of the machine. And now that's one of the major advantages of the way that we build our little backhoes with the progressive linkage. As you can see, that coupler plate is sitting all the way back. It also goes past 90 degrees forward, which means that our coupler can work with this bucket and still achieve a real good rotation angle. So, like I say, I don't have a machine, so I'm going to have to manually do this so that you have an idea of how it works. But hopefully, eventually, I will get another video with it on a machine. But when you go to hook into the machine, you would have your boom up in the air and then set this set of collars into the bucket. So your stick would be coming down into it, and this first set of couplers drops into this set of couplers, so that locks in right like that. And then you extend your hydraulic cylinder, which rotates this coupler down into place like that. And you can curl that all the way down so that it's under the stick. Obviously, with it sitting like it is, I can't curl that down. But you would curl it down until the gravity of the bucket changes so it stays in the coupler. And at that point, you could lower your boom down and get your stick straight out from the machine. And then you just put the drift pin in. Now the only reason this drift pin is going in difficult right now is this is completely fresh paint, so it's still a little bit gooey. But once the paint dries out and everything sets into place a little better, it'll go in a lot easier. But like I say, the paint is still gooey, so that's fighting me a little bit. But that's it, that's all it takes. There's a bolt that will go through the end of this pin then to keep that from sliding out. So just a bolt with a nylock nut goes in there. That's all you need to do. Take the bolt out, drive the drift out, and the bucket will come right off. So that's our fast disconnect bucket system on our heavy duty 6-foot hoe arm for skid steer. We are Minnesota Implement. Please check out our other videos at minnesotaimplement.com and on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and to like our channel. It helps us get better exposure, which helps us sell product, which helps us stay in business. And I like to eat. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.